everybody, me and Dean back at you with another video today. And if you watched the last video, you know what this video is all about, because this is just a continuation of the last one. Well, not a continuation, but I'm doing my episode 5 of Cheap and Cheerful. And I'm starting with the wine that became the champion of the last video. 2019 Lost Peak Cabernet Sauvignon from the Columbia Valley in Washington State. I am a fan of Washington State Cab Sauves, and this one's no exception. I tasted it in the last video, and it actually beat a much more expensive one from BC. And I'm going to give it another swirl. I'm going to taste it one more time for this video. Then I'm going to go and add a couple more, and we're going to do the full Cheap and Cheerful video, the series here. So let's see. It's all fruit, black fruit, blue fruit. It was a little bit jammy when I first opened it. That's starting to dissipate a bit. The hill is tiny hint of smoke. It's a little bit of, tiny bit of dried herbs just starting to show up now after 20 minutes or so. It's still more fruity than anything else. Cassis, dark plum shows up. There's a little bit of black cherry, but not a lot of it. It's not really pronounced, but it's there. Yeah. Medium plus tannins, medium plus acidity, medium plus viscosity. Blueberry, blackberry, red cherry, cassis. Just a tiny bit of mint. And on the finish, which is medium plus, at least medium plus, no, medium plus I'd say, you're getting a little bit of a dark chocolate, like a chocolate covered coffee bean, coming up at the end. And that's kind of what leaves, that's kind of how it leaves your throat. It's like it left a little bit of cocoa chocolate left right there. It's right there. It's right there, and then it's gone. Yeah, so 2019. So I mean, obviously that's current vintage. As I mentioned in the last video, this is $23.99 in BC liquor stores, and right now until March 5th, it's on sale for $17.99. So as you know, for the Cheap and Cheerful series, everything has to be under $30, including tax. So even at its full price, this meets that requirement with a little bit of room to spare. And at $17.99, I'm going to go back and buy a case of it. Okay, here we go to finish off. I got the other two wines here. I have a white wine from California. It is 2018 Chardonnay from Bonterra. According to the shelf tag at the liquor store and the website, this is from the Mendocino County in California. It doesn't say that on the bottle, it just says California. At least if it doesn't make, it's really light printing. But if it says Mendocino, I can't see it on there. So I think it's, usually they just say California with that, what that means, right? It's from all kinds of different counties, different vineyards in there. They mix them together to make hopefully a good wine, but one that's fairly cheap, so they don't use the best grapes. They use what they've got. This was I think $23. Well, it'll be on the screen there, but it's on sale until March 5th. Actually, all these wines I bought happen to be on sale until March 5th at pretty good prices. So this is one I'm totally not familiar with. I don't even know if I've ever seen it before. Maybe it's just one I overlooked. California Chard's usually pretty good. It's got a nice nose. Definitely oaky, but not intense. A little bit of peach, vanilla. There's a melon there too. I struggle with melons other than watermelon because I don't like them. I don't ever eat melons. I don't enjoy them at all. So I always have trouble distinguishing the characteristics because they're very different, right? So this is the green fleshed one. That's honeydew, right? Cantaloupe's the one with the orange flesh. A honeydew's the one with the green flesh, I think. It's green fleshed melon. I think that's honeydew. White or yellow apple, like yellow apple skin. 2018, so it's 3 years and a bit old. Okay, smells good. Oh, and by the way, before anybody criticizes me for drinking my Chardonnay too cold out of a bucket of ice, I just got home from the liquor store with it, so I'm just trying to get it to proper cold temperature. It was room temperature before. It's not ice cold. Now, I think my wife and I do enjoy drinking our Chardonnays colder than it's recommended usually, and colder than a lot of people do. Not ice cold, though, not like out of a champagne bucket of ice or anything. But I'm just trying to get this to a reasonable temperature. Hopefully it's there. Alright, let's see how we go, sir. Oh, that's not bad. Not quite cold enough yet, but it's almost there. It's a little bit of butteriness on the palate, but so it's definitely seen some oak, probably no new French oak. But it's more fruity. Palate pretty much confirms the nose. It's a lot of the same things. I'd say it's a lot of yellow apple. Yellow apple is prevalent. A little bit of butter, scotch, just a hint. White peach. Medium finish. And there's the melon. Kind of shows up there. It's kind of like one of those wines that everything's medium. Viscosity's medium, acidity's medium. Intensity of a medium. Acidity. Said that already. Yeah, so Chardonnay from California for $22, $23, depending on when you buy it. Perfectly quaffable. One more sip. Yeah, it's good. You know, it's fine. It's good. I'm going to use this in making a chicken dish tonight that requires some white wine, and actually making a pork dish tomorrow that requires some white wine. So it's kind of perfect because this is I'm not saying I wouldn't sit and drink this. I would, and I'll drink what's left of it, but it's probably a really good bottle to cook with, especially since the pork is actually specific to Chardonnay in it. So it's actually supposed to be Burgundy, but I'm not putting Burgundy in a pork loin dish. Well, I could, but this is just as good. So we'll do that. Okay, so that's 2 for 3, and both perfectly good so far. Let's see what the other red's like. Okay, so here's the wine number 3 out of today's episode. It is 2019 Aglianico del Vulture from Italy. Teodosio. Okay, so some of you who might have found my blog through Facebook groups might know there's another vlogger out there from locally. He's in the Okanagan. I think his name is Dave. This is his vlog, and a couple weeks ago he posted a review of this exact wine. I'm pretty sure it's the same year too. I actually started to watch it, and then I realized that I was going to be talking about the same wine and stopped watching because I don't want to have any preconceived notions about the wine. I don't want to be, subconsciously wondering if I get the same notes he did. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'll go back and watch it later. It'll be fun. So Alianaco is the grape, and it is considered one of the 3 main red grapes of Italy, along with Nebbiolo and Sangiovese. It's definitely the least popular of those 3, but it is by all means a delicious grape, and this one comes from the Basilicata region, which is here. They're in red. The Vulture is a geographical historical region in the northern part of the province of Potenza in the Basilicata region. So as you can see, you saw from the map, Basilicata is in the southern part of Italy. This is in the northern part of that part. If that makes any sense. So very volcanic. There is a volcano in the area, so we should get some minerality out of this, I would assume. So right off the bat, I definitely say it's like a medium plus intensity aromas. First thing I'm getting. Oh, by the way, I already didn't decant this about an hour ago. I assume it's probably going to need that, given that it's a fairly new Italian wine. I've only had Alianaco a couple of times, but it can be a big wine, not as necessarily as big as Nebbiolo. Of course, you wouldn't be drinking a 2019 Nebbiolo now unless you're crazy, or you love to get punched in the face by tannins. And this should be also a pretty big wine, I think. And given that it's 2019, I'm guessing that the aeration and decanting will probably smooth out a little bit. We'll see in a minute. So, blackberry, black sherry. Definitely some flinty minerality. Black plum, all the black fruits, cassis. There's a hint of like like stewed raspberries, strawberries, a little bit of red fruit there. Oh, okay. So that's a nice nose. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh boy, that is dry. Very dry. Bone dry. Tannins are still there. Acidity's medium plus to high. Tannins medium plus to high. Alcohol medium plus. What is the alcohol on this? It's got to be 14-ish. Oh, this is a vegan wine. If that's important to you. I said 14-ish, it's 14. That's 14-ish, right? That's pretty close. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to mention, we were tasting the Chardonnay. It is organic. Again, if that's important to you, that Chardonnay that we tasted second is an organic wine. Okay, back to the Aglianico del Vulture. Okay, so I'm going to try this with some cheese or some food later, because it is nice, but it's not necessarily one I would just pour for a day on the patio sipping. And I think it probably needs more time. I think, so I mentioned this one's also on sale at the BC liquor stores as per the price I put up there. This might be one to buy 3 or 4 bottles of at that price. Put them away for a couple of years here and there. That's good wine, and it's good value for that price. And honestly, if you want to open it up and drink it now, it's drinkable, but I would definitely aerate it and give it a decant of at least a couple hours. I think it's been, I'm going to say an hour and a quarter or so since I decanted it. Probably could use a little more. I bet you if I drink this throughout the day, it's going to get better in a couple hours. You always never know, right? Maybe it'll be better the second day. Might be. So, flavor profile is it leans a little more towards, for me it leans more towards Sangiovese than Nebbiolo. A little more ripe red fruit. It isn't the dustiness, that you get with the Sangiovese, that's not there. But red raspberry, like a wild strawberry, and the black fruits are there too. There's black plum, cassis for sure, with coffee. Maybe mocha. Mocha's probably better. A little bit of chocolate and coffee there. Yeah. Well, coffees. Yeah. So it's not. I wouldn't say milk. I'm going back to coffee because now through the mid palate and the back of my throat, I'm getting almost like a freshly ground coffee taste. Finishes medium plus, maybe medium to medium plus. Not an extremely long finish. Well, but the chocolate and the coffee kind of linger at the end. The fruit doesn't finish as long, but the secondary, tertiary characteristics kind of hang around. So I'm going to say medium plus finish on that. Okay, so that's it for today. That's it for Cheap and Cheerful episode 5. So full disclosure, I filmed this over a couple of days. I had drank this already. And I absolutely loved this at first. I told you that it smelled a little bit jammy, but it didn't taste jammy. After a couple hours, it got a little jammy. So this is one that I'm still recommending it, but I would, if I'm, at $17.99, I would definitely go get some of this. But I wouldn't aerate or decant it for a long time. I think it tastes better younger. It didn't get bad after a couple hours, but it was better early. Chardonnay, again, perfectly good. For $20 California Chardonnay, if you like your Chardonnay oaked but not too oaked, definitely not a lot of butter characteristics there, but there's some. Then this beast, by all means, I think if you're the kind of person that you got a cellar and you want to put some wine away, go buy 6 of these and open one every couple of years. I might do that. I'm gonna do that or something like that anyway, because it's a nice wine and I think it'd be better with food, and I'll try that. But I would give this some time. I bet you I wouldn't hold it for a decade or anything. I don't know. Maybe you should hold it for a decade. Basilisco is, I guess, the winery. I've forgotten now which was which. Basilisco, Teodosio, Aglianico del Vulture. I apologize to the Italians out there for probably butchering an Italian accent of Vulture. Sounds more French, right? Vulture, but it's not. It's Vulture. Anyway, so yeah. So there we go. So that's 3 pretty good recommendations for you, all for under $30 with tax. And as I said, all 3 of them on sale right now at the BC liquor stores up until March 5th. Those of you that are outside of BC, I'm sure you can probably find these as well. And of course, they'll be cheaper there because BC is the most expensive place in the world to buy wine, it seems like. So anyway, so that's it for today. So I will put a link to Dave's vlog, and I'm going to go watch it actually and see if we agree on but I don't even know if he liked it or not. We'll see what he thinks. But I'll put a link to it in the description. I'll put a link to these wines as well. And as always, please give this video a like and a thumbs up. Oh, and I think I mentioned this before, but I know a lot of you get to these links and videos through Facebook groups here. There are wine groups and that. And I get a lot of comments on those groups and a lot of likes and that, and I appreciate that. But that doesn't do anything for the actual channel. You could 8 million people could like this on Facebook. It means nothing. So if you wouldn't mind liking it on YouTube, that'd be awesome. That's where it matters. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna go drink this over the next couple of hours while I'm uploading the vlog and editing it, and hopefully it even gets better. And then I think I'm gonna go to the liquor store and buy a few more of them because that's nice. And something different. That's actually the only wine I have in my fridge from the Basilicata region of Italy. It's probably too small to see, but you see I do have my Italy broken down by region, and Basilicata had nothing until now. So I'm going to put something in there, I think. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I sure appreciate it. And remember, drink great wine. See you next time. Thanks.